Good morning. What's
Morning.
happening? What's happening, world? Just like to come on this morning and thank everybody for coming out and joining us on the initial podcast for the C.A.R.S project. Today we got a special guest, Mark Wright. He's going to come on. He's going to talk about his organization. Just like to introduce everybody to the C.A.R.S project. What we're about. What we're going to be doing in the community. What this podcast is all about. And just how we want the public to become involved with it. My name is Bill Gibson, and I am the founder and director of the C.A.R.S project. C.A.R.R.S, C.A.R.R.S, is an acronym for Community Addiction Recovery and Reentry Services. The C.A.R.S project is a community-based addiction recovery and reentry service organization. The C.A.R.S project's primary objective is to build a community-based addiction recovery and reentry service organization. What we want to do at the C.A.R.S project is provide services in communities that have been most impacted by addiction and criminality, incarceration, recidivism and trauma, and are therapeutically underserved. The C.A.R.S project is launching in 3 phases. Today's podcast is the first phase of our launch, and we're going to launch as a podcast that serves as a forum for different like-minded individuals, organizations such as Mark's organization, to come on and share information with the community about what we're doing, and try to get resources that better helps our returning citizens, our brothers and sisters that are coming out of incarceration, brothers and sisters that are dealing with addiction and coming out of treatment, to try to provide resources that will help give them sustained reentry back into the community. Just today's podcast, really, man, we just want to introduce y'all to us and let you know what we're about, give you a little personal background bio about who we are. And, on the next podcast, hopefully we're going to have some guests come out and we're going to talk about different issues that are most important to the community. Just give you a little background about me. I am a recovering addict and ex-offender from Greenville, South Carolina. All my life I was pretty much in the streets and getting high and going to jail and stealing, robbing, selling dope, and my attempts at starting the C.A.R.S project is a way to make amends, to give back something that's been so freely given to me. And I just feel like that my experience gives me a lot of empirical knowledge, knowledge based on my observation and experience, and gives me an aptitude to deal with people like me. Another part of this podcast is that we're asking brothers and sisters that have backgrounds such as mine, that have been formerly incarcerated, that have struggled with addiction, that are in recovery. This is your podcast. This is the people's podcast. So just feel free to chime in. We're going to give you our information. You can contact information so you can reach out and you can find us, and we look forward to having everybody involved. At this time, I'm going to let Mark tell you a little bit about his organization and what he has going on, and let you know who he is.
Hey, my name is how's everybody doing this morning? Top of it. My name is Mark Wright. I have a YouTube channel called SBTV. That's an acronym for Sight Beyond the Veil, and it's pretty much an open forum pertaining, things that are happening in the world. Things that happen with you as an individual. It's like what Brother Bill say. It's just a forum for the people. The people. It's no right or wrong. It's just I like to look at it like we kicking around the truth. And we ask certain questions. I ask a lot of questions pertaining what the truth is. Nowadays the nature of the truth has been skewed to the point whereby it's watered down. So we're living a replica of the truth now. So I would say we, as a people, living a fabricated life. So this is a form to be able to pierce the veil of lies, to be able to expose what the real truth is, the truth that lies within each and every one of us. Has nothing to do with no religion or none of that. It has everything to do with things that confront we as a people. Whether you black, brown, Caucasian, whoever, just bring what you got and what you know. We kick it around and determine what the truth is in reality. I like to say that we my podcast will be inviting great thinkers that, have the ability to be able to place what they know into reality, because reality is nothing more than the extension of your thoughts. So that's pretty much in brief what I'm about, and I'm always open to suggestions. I'm looking for people who can, further the agenda of Sight Beyond the Veil, SBTV, someone that can come in and, help us out a little bit. So this is pretty much like a casting call for me personally, to be able to grow the organization that I got. I'm gonna turn it back over to Brother Bill.
Yeah, and just give y'all a little background about me and Mark. Me and Mark, we met in prison. We used to build in prison like a lot of brothers and sisters I know that are watching this podcast. And a lot of the ideas that we kicked around in prison are coming to fruition right here today with this podcast. And we want this to be an example to other people, that have been in prison and had an idea about something positive that they wanted to do, just didn't know how to facilitate that. Hey man, you just gotta just step out on faith, and part of the C.A.R.S project's goal is to facilitate those ideas, to
Right.
provide that, try to provide that forum, for we can get together and come up with solutions to the problem in our communities. Cause I'm a thorough believer, change is gonna have to come from within. It's gonna have to come from people like us, Mark, because the powers that be, they don't have empathy for our situation, right? They're not.
Let me interject. Okay. I'm gonna expound upon what Brother Bill said. We're nothing more than commoners. Commoners that have actually been exposed to a lot of information that we pretty much, I like to call it in my own philosophy, having wrinkles in your mind, and the experiences that we have endured has been the iron out, and hard crease the wrinkles in our minds, make us sharper than where we come from. Every day is a day to be able to create a better version of yourself. It's an evolutionary process on a day-to-day basis. So you have to judge yourself accordingly. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. That way you can pretty much, not to say that you can be opinionated or be judgmental towards other people. It's just about yourself. You gotta be your own worst critic. So I mean, a lot of people feel as though the commoner or a person who have been incarcerated, we don't have a voice in what's going on. And the best lawyer is the lawyer that has actually been in the Senate to the dungeons. If you've never been to the dungeons, how you understand where we've been in order to be able to determine where we're going? I'm not into programming human beings. I'm into allowing human beings to understand who and what they are, so therefore they could do better in life in reference to creating a better version of themselves.
Yeah. And like a lot of brothers and sisters that are, coming from where we came from, we was talking about this before we started this morning, about just knowing how to move forward in society. Simple thing is getting an apartment, starting bank accounts. We're gonna be providing practical information about that. And not just practical information, we also, like in my neighborhood right here in Kennedy Park, District 25, we're going to be at the neighborhood center giving resume building classes, credit building classes, home ownership classes, pathways out of poverty. We had a meet and greet out here at my house on Saturday, and one of the topics that was brought up was about pathways out of public housing. A lot of people just feel like they're stuck there and don't know what, the actual moves that need to be made to, be able to remove themselves from that.
That's a mean topic right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a mean one, man. What happened Saturday was that, it was the government is holding us back and, separating families. And on one level that is happening, when you put it in context. But as far as pathway out of poverty, that's a whole another discussion, and I think sometimes they get mixed up, and that's what happened out here Saturday.
You know what I think? I think in regards to the pathway out of poverty is understanding that I want to indict America in regards to understanding that America's black eye is poverty. You know, that's the ultimate crime.
Yeah, man.
So when you talking about figuring out a way to get food, clothing, shelter, hair service, and education, that's a thing that most don't never have in a lifetime, you know, because people die and don't even have a grave to go to. So you got to realize that you have to think it all the way through from the beginning to the end. So what Brother Bill is talking about is nothing more than figuring out a way to create generational wealth.
Yes.
You know, and we have to be properly socialized. So I'm saying, to the degree where it is, we understand that we have to, you know, have a network of economics that lies dormant between us all, so that we can pretty much have things that we so need and all that we desire as well. Because I mean, it's not a lot, you know. It's all about accepting who you are to determine that.
Yes.
You know, but the pathway out of poverty is that goes back to how you've been educated.
Yes.
Educated to be able to be a responsible
and miseducated.
Yeah, because you're taught what to think and not how to think, and you're not taught surely through the information in which that you acquire. You know, you ain't taught that information that you acquire, it pretty much make you who you are. It gives you an identity. You see what I'm saying? You can't trust nobody to define you. So, I mean, to define you, you have to define you on your own through the sum of your experiences and how you arrive at an understanding through what you know and what you experience all together, you know?
Yeah, man. And that's a big part of what we're doing. Building that network, creating a forum that gives us the opportunity to build a network that empowers our people,
right,
socially, politically, economically, through information and, just through practical experience, application.
Right.
And these are the things that we're going to be doing moving forward. And I want everybody to know that, man, this is a learning experience, man. We want y'all to walk with us, and me and Mark, we getting on the job training, and, we just stepped out on faith doing what we're doing right here. And, there are no wrong answers, like he said earlier. There are no wrong answers, and there are no dumb questions, And moving forward, man, we want to involve everybody. You can reach me at Facebook, Bill Gibson, Facebook, the C.A.R.S Project, or you can call me at 864-626-2259, 864-626-2259. We want to get people out of the community involved. Come on, bring your voice, bring your concerns. And let's talk about it, man.
I can be reached at 864-361-3533. That's 864-361-3533. Or you can email me at markthemagnificent@gmail.com. That's Mark the Magnificent spelled with a Q.
Yeah. Man, we look forward to hearing from you. This is our initial podcast. I feel good about it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I feel good about it. We building, we uniting, we working, and man, we trying to love one another like we love ourselves. And until next time,
peace and blessings.
Peace and blessing. We gonna